What is up guys, and welcome to my latest video here on SP Vids. Today we're on the SP404 Mark II and I wanted to talk about a little topic to do with this device, and it's something that kind of changes from being a beginner to being a bit more of an advanced user on this device. So we're going to get into this one. I'm going to explain exactly what I mean, and then I'm going to suggest some possible solutions as well. Now apologies if this is looking a bit different today. I actually destroyed my SD card this morning accidentally. The lock slider for it on the side kind of snapped off, and when I put it into my DSLR it said that the SD card was locked and that I needed to unlock it before I used it. Obviously I can't because the switch is broken off, so I've got a new one on the way, but for today's video I'm back on the mobile phone, and yeah, hopefully it looks okay. Apologies if it's a bit uncomfortable for this one video. So what is it that I'm referring to in this video? What is it that I want to show you guys? Well, I think with the SP, this is something that's really important to understand as a beginner. There are many different ways to do the same thing, and that goes from something as small as resampling to something as big as making an entire beat. There's so many different approaches to the way you can use this device. It's almost like an instrument in a way. You imagine a guitarist, they could play indie, they could play blues, they could play jazz. It's still the same instrument, but you're playing it in a completely different way. So I think that's very similar to how this device is, and I think really what I want to share with you guys today is a couple of examples of this in action, and then I'm going to talk about how I think beginners should approach this device and how it's quite useful for advanced users as well. So let's take an example here of these drums. So I've got 3 drums here. They're from my Lo-Fi Drums Volume 6 pack. That's available on spvids.com. All the links are in the description. All the sales from my shop really help me to keep making these videos. So 1, 2, 3 here. Can hear those. So we're going to go ahead and do shift resample, and that's going to take us to something called mix samples, and I'll choose all 3. There you go, you can see they're stacked up there. We'll press enter and we'll choose a target pad. We're going to choose 9 and we'll do enter again, and now on pad 9 we have all those samples stacked and they're all playing at the same time with one pad press. Now there's another way you could do this. You could just hit resample. You could go to pad 10, select that, and just hit all 3 at the same time. Let's listen to that. Slightly different sound, but very similar. Then a third way that you could do this is to do shift and pad link, and we'll use A. We'll link all those together. We'll come out of there. Now we'll do resample 11. And there we go, they all triggered at the same time because I've got them in a pad link. And that's the sound of those. So basically what I'm trying to show you with this is that we're getting the same result even though we're using loads of different methods to do it. Okay, I want to show you another example now. We'll go to pattern mode, and I've got this pattern here which is a full pattern with kick, snare and hi-hats. Okay, you get the idea. So hypothetically, let's say that we want that pattern without the hi-hats. Now, one way you can do this is to go copy, we'll choose 2, and then we'll copy it to 10. Now, before we confirm it, we'll do remain, and then we'll select all the samples that we want in the copied version. So all the chops, I'll go across to drums, and I'm going to select just the kick and the snare, not the hi-hats. We'll do copy. And there we go, we have the pattern without the hi-hats. So another way we can do this is to copy it again. We'll copy 2 and put it on 11 this time. Copy, and then we'll play 11. There we go, it's an exact copy. We'll go to pattern edit, press and hold delete, and you can see it says delete pad from loop. And I'll go to F because that's where my drums are, and we'll just delete the hi-hat. And then I'm still holding delete, I'll press enter. And now, you can see there, I've got exactly the same result with 2 wildly different methods of doing it. So what is my point in this really? Well, I think what I want to say to beginners is don't get too bogged down with trying to find the kind of perfect way of doing everything on this device. I would say it doesn't actually matter too much as long as you're getting the job done. It's only really when you get more advanced with this device that you're going to realize that certain things are maybe better for your workflow. And this is another point as well, kind of linking into workflow with this device. I used to see quite a lot on my channel people asking about workflow and what's the best way to work. There really isn't one set workflow that works for everyone. It's all about personal preference and how you like doing things. So the most important workflow is the one that works the best for you. When you're learning this device, it can be really overwhelming to find all these different ways of doing things. If you've got one method of doing it and it works, just keep doing that and keep learning the device. And as you get better and better, then you can start substituting little things and saying, well, I could do that slightly better if I did it that way, etc., etc. So yeah, my overall advice really for beginners is don't get bogged down trying to learn all these different ways of doing the same thing. And if you do find something that's the same and you're wondering, oh, is that a better way of doing it? A lot of the things end up with the same result anyway, so it doesn't really matter. If you're a more advanced user, then I think absolutely you should explore these extra ways of doing things and see which ones suit your workflow better. It's actually one of the great things about this device. Once you get really comfortable with it, you can just do things in different ways. And for me personally, these sometimes change. I sometimes use one method, like that pattern copy, and then I might use the other method, pattern delete. It just depends what kind of mood I'm in. But yeah, overall point that I'm trying to make in this video is there's loads of different ways to do things on this device. None of them are wrong. None of them are the correct way to do them. They all achieve the same things. So just do the ones which work best for you and do the ones which make you feel the most comfortable and give you the most enjoyment out of the device. That is the most important thing. So I hope this one was useful, guys. There's plenty more videos about the SP404 Mark II in my archive if you are learning. I think I've got about 150 odd videos about this device now, which is absolutely crazy. So definitely check all those out if you're learning this device. Take your time with it. There is a bit of a learning curve at the start, but then things start to click very quickly. And yeah, hopefully your journey is going well and hopefully my videos are helping. I'll be back with more tips and tricks soon for this and for other devices and beatmaking too. So hopefully I will see you there.